Okay, hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to talk about the importance of pre-selling the visitors to your sniper site. Okay, now pre-selling is admittedly a subject not a lot of people get excited about. People much prefer, talking about traffic and things like that, but in reality pre-selling is equally as important. Okay, this can mean, as we'll discuss in a minute, the difference between you making $600 a month from a sniper site and you making $60 a month. Okay, because it means the percentage of people that come to your sniper site that will actually go on to buy the product you're recommending. Okay, whether it be your own product or someone else's. I recommend doing a ClickBank product, for example, that you're promoting as an affiliate. Okay, so pre-selling is very important, and in this video we're going to look at some key principles. I've already discussed it in a lot of detail in the manual, but we're going to look at some key principles. Again, I'm going to show you some pictures to use, which to avoid, and also help you search for a theme for your sniper site as well. Okay, so first of all, an important warning. Okay, the pre-selling techniques discussed in this course are mainly for ClickBank products. Okay, both the ones discussed in the manual and the ones I'm going to discuss in this video. Okay, physical products will require a different approach. Now, here's the best example. If someone is looking to lose weight, for example, and they come across a book online which says, a big sales page that promises they're going to use, X many pounds in X many days, blah blah blah, it's quite possible they don't believe what the sales page says. That is essentially what your pre-selling does. It helps to create more trust in the sales page. That is the number one task that you need to achieve, basically. Okay, with the pre-selling on your site, is entrust more, is give the visitor more believability in what they see when they go to the sales page. Okay, now if the visitor is looking to buy an iPod or a spade, my favorite example that I always use is the spade example. If someone's looking to buy a spade, they don't need to be convinced that the spade is real and that the spade is going to work. Everybody knows that it is. So physical products will require a different approach than the pre-selling techniques discussed here. Okay, in fact, they require a lot less pre-selling. All they require is kind of a very simple review, and here's the best place to buy it at the best price. The best price, that is what's absolutely key. Physical products, because obviously with physical products there's a lot of different places to buy the stuff. Okay, whereas with your particular weight loss ebook, there might be only one website in the world that sells it. When someone's looking to buy a spade, there's 10,000 places to buy one. Okay, so that's the different approach for physical products. Also, this will apply to some ClickBank products. For example, the government records niche. Okay, now for those of you that don't know, this is a product whereby you type in someone's name and it comes up with any government records related to that person, or supposedly that's what it does anyway. So something like that. Okay, I'm not never actually used it myself, but I've promoted it in the past. And essentially, because it's kind of a how can I explain this? That the person doesn't need to be convinced that it's going to work, because when they go to the website, it's just a search button and they just enter the name and some stuff comes up. Basically, it requires a lot less pre-selling than selling an ebook, for example. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. The same with some of the softwares that come with a free trial. So, for example, you might be promoting a driver robot. Okay, and this is the thing that automatically updates the drivers on someone's computer. Okay, every computer has these things called drivers, which I don't know exactly what they do. I'm not very tech savvy, as many of you will know. But anyway, yeah, what the robot does is update them. Okay, automatically. It's a paid product, but it offers a free trial. Now, when something offers a free trial, obviously someone doesn't have to be super convinced in order to take a free trial, because it is by design free. Okay, so these pre-selling techniques in the course are mainly for ClickBank products. When promoting other things, CPA offers as well, you're going to require a lot less pre-selling. Okay. Now for some important tips. Okay, And ignore this at your peril, because if you don't do this, you're going to be screwed, and everyone is just going to arrive on your website and leave straight away. And this is the crucial understanding that pre-selling is not selling. You are not selling the prospect. It's not a hard sell. You're not like, now you need to, enter your credit card or forever be doomed and stuff like that. Okay, that is the job of the sales page. That is not your job. All you're doing is you're trying to, first of all, get them to visit the sales page, and second of all, have a kind of a more trusting, sort of warm buying mood when they do. Okay, so you're not actually selling them, you're pre-selling them on what they're about to see. Okay, now ignoring this alone could mean the difference. Well, it could mean a lot more of a difference, but between $200 and $600 a month. I'll give you a recent example. It wasn't $200 and $600, but I had a site that was making, I think, around $300 and, funny enough, I think it was $310 a month. And then I actually changed all the posts. Actually, no, I changed the final post, okay, which is the important pre-selling post. That was the only post I changed. It took me, so as not to affect the search engine position too much of the site. I only changed that post, and I changed the theme, I think, as well. And yeah, and it went from $310 a month to, I think, around $550 a month. Okay. And then, that took literally about half an hour's work. Okay, so, pre-selling, get pre-selling right, and it's really going to help your site, going to make you a lot more money. And that's just one site. Imagine across your entire network or across your entire empire of sites. Okay, but remember, it's not selling. And another thing is give value to the visitor and pre-sell them at the same time. Okay, so we're not just pre-selling them and thing, we're also kind of answering their questions. So here's an example. If someone searches for how to get a six-pack and they come across your website, you're also going to want to give some value to them, kind of explaining the process you might have gone through of how to get a six-pack, or what you found out online, some helpful tips, while at the same time pre-selling them on the product you've chosen to promote. Okay, you want to do both at the same time. That's really important. Okay, if you're just seen as selling them, then the person's going to get bored by your website and they're just going to leave. Okay, so they do need to get some value as well in your writing. Okay, now the big word in pre-selling, for me anyway, the number one thing you need to bear in mind, the number one concept is congruence. Okay, your theme, everything must fit together. Okay, everything must fit together. The key word you're targeting must fit together with when the visitor arrives on your site. When the visitor arrives on your site, the theme must fit in with your writing, and it all must fit together with the product you're promoting. Everything should essentially be very congruent. Okay, so your theme must fit your story and your target audience. Okay, now the theme you choose, so let's say I was selling a gaming product, okay, or a programming product to a computer programmer. I might have a sort of technically impressive site. It might be a dark background, a bit like this PowerPoint presentation, with all sorts of, interesting things on it. Whereas if I was pre-selling a weight loss audience, or perhaps a mature woman or something like that, I would have a more simple site that's going to appeal to them much more, and going to be a lot easier to read. Okay, the next thing is that pictures will impact conversions. Okay, now we're going to discuss pictures in a moment, but it's important to have a great picture of you. Okay, you want it to be a headshot of you. You don't want it to be too professional, but you do want it to be professional. Okay, now too professional means like, when you've hired a professional photographer to photograph you, and nothing screams I'm going to sell you something like that. Okay, so it wants to be kind of a good photo of you, a good smiling photo of you, but not actually professionally produced. The other thing is you want to make your About Me page good. Okay, now a lot of visitors, way more than you think, will actually go to your About Me page searching to find more about you. Okay, so they'll be on your website, they'll be reading your story as a reviewer, and they may not actually believe what you're saying, and will click on the About Me page, or the About Us, or whatever you want to call it, to find out, you know, more about you, if you're kind of true to your word and things like that. And basically, if you make that good, it can really help. Okay, it's going to really increase trust, and if you increase trust in what you're saying, you're ultimately going to sell more of the product you're promoting, because people are going to trust what you're talking about. So make your About Me page good, make it long, have another picture of you on the About Me page, explain, this is all in the manual, but explain, you know, why you've created the site, explain what you're hoping to get out of it. You know, don't just say I'm hoping to make a load of money from recommending a product. Okay, and hopefully you're not as well. Hopefully you're looking to provide some real value anyway. And yeah, so make your About Me page good. You know, put in some work there. Quite a few people will actually visit your About Me page, but there's a lot more about that in the manual. Okay, so now let's look at some themes and also some photos that you could use for your website, for your sniper site. Okay, so this is a photo I use very often on my sniper sites. Okay, so you remember you're going to have your photo in the right hand side in that sort of in that little who am I bar, okay, on the right hand side, and you're also going to have it on your About Me page, so it's going to be visible in quite a few places. Now, I like this photo because it's not professionally done in any way. I actually think my mum took this photo, but you can see I'm in a suit. You know, I look kind of like an authority reviewer, which is generally the look we're trying to go for here. And you know, people in suits always look more trustworthy. I'm kind of smiling, and it's just generally a good kind of picture to have. Okay, you can clearly see my face, which is also very important. Another one I use a lot is this photo here. Okay, which is not professionally done either by any means. This makes me look friendly and trustworthy, and is kind of a more relaxed one. Okay, so this is the kind of photos I recommend using on yourself. Now, I know I'm going into a lot of detail about pre-selling, but it really is important. Like I said, you know, it could mean the difference between you making loads of money and you not making any at all. Okay, so pre-selling is important, so do pay attention. So there's two photos I use regularly. These are the two I use most often, and you know, you only need 2 or 3 or even less. You know, you only actually really need 1. You know, just have a browse around on Facebook and I'm sure you'll find something. Okay, now as promised, I want to show you some examples of photos not to use on your About Me tab. Okay, and this is an example of one that I would not use. For example, this was taken at a Mexican restaurant. Okay, we were dressed up for the feast, and you know, it just doesn't look very good. Okay, it does not do you any favors in regards to looking credible, etc. Okay, and you can't see my face that clearly. I'm not that smiling. It's kind of dark, and I am wearing a Mexican sombrero. So that one, I would also try to avoid one like this. Okay, because it's a cool photo, but you're not really wearing, I'm wearing sunglasses, you can't really see my eyes, I'm not smiling, and it's not really a large face shot. Okay, so you do want it to be mainly a headshot of your face. Okay, and then finally, you know, try to avoid pulling stupid faces in your picture. Okay, so you just want it, you know, to be a normal face, not too wild or anything like that. Okay, so now you've hopefully got an idea of what to use and what not to use, and remember to use something like this and not a guy pulling a stupid face like I am here in Las Vegas. Okay, alright, so that's the pictures taken care of. Now let's actually talk about themes. Okay, and now in terms of finding the themes, you'll find a link in the manual, and basically I always click on the most popular. And this is on the actual WordPress website. I prefer not to actually browse themes here within this, because this isn't a very good place. As you can see, there is no actual popular tab here. Instead, what I'll do is I'll come here, I'll find the theme I like, okay, and then I will go over here and actually type in the name of the theme, and it will, you know, come up, and I'll just install it that way. Okay, but this makes an easier way for searching through them. Okay. So there's more about actual, you know, themes in the manual. Okay, you know, there's very high detail, including, you know, what to choose for all different niches and things like that. So I won't, you know, touch on all that stuff again, but I just wanted to show you where I look for it, so you can browse through them here. let's say I wanted to check this one out, you can then click on it. You can even preview the theme. Now this is actually quite a nice theme. It's a very simple one and one that I've used in the past. Okay. Now if you imagine this theme here with a photo of you here, etc., it looks very professional. It's very good for, you know, something to do with weight loss, acne, health and fitness, that kind of thing. This theme is called Light Clean Blue, and now is one of my favorites. It's also very good for search engine optimization because it's very simple. Okay, so this is a great theme for your sniper site and one I highly recommend. Okay, it's not too professional, but it's clean, which is important. Okay, so you can click preview and you can actually see what the theme looks like. You know, there's multiple pages here. You can check those out. I also actually recommend some in the manual. Okay, some specific ones of ones I use. Okay, I know here you can still see here, you know, a year and a half after I created the initial Google Sniper, and you know, almost 2 years actually, and it's still here, still a popular theme. Okay, so the iKnove is a great one and one I use very often. Okay, and you've got a whole bunch of ones here, and this is where I recommend. Now remember, once you've got your theme, you just take the name and you go over here and you go ahead and type it in, and it'll find the theme and you can download it. Okay, so in this video we've gone over just some pre-selling techniques. Again, I've mentioned a few more of them are in the manual. We looked at some pictures and also some themes. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Head back to the manual now, and I'll see you in the next video.